Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT.
How?
And we are back with another thread. There's a lot recently in Yu-Gi-Oh! For which we can all be positive. A significant amount of the gripes that we've had over the last couple of years have all of a sudden been resolved. With the introduction of Grandmaster Rares, packs are set to be interesting again. After years of playing for air fryers, we finally got something reasonable in terms of pricing. And there's alt formats! Who knew? But that's really bad news for me. See, like most YouTubers, a lot of my income comes from whining about the game that I play all day. Desperate times call for desperate actions. So today, I'm crowdsourcing some solutions. How would you ruin Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm going to begin with this one, set rotation. While I've gone to bat for set rotation in the past, I can't deny that a significant amount of players would leave the game forever if it were to be implemented. Let's see what you all came up with. But first, this video is sponsored by... it's not actually sponsored by anything. I just wanted to remind you of an affiliate ship I have. Biggies is a collectibles company that makes these little standees. They're magnetic and can be placed upright or stuck to the wall where I have put them. I like these a great deal. These funky little guys really pop on the wall without making me look like a complete dweeb. They make these for like tons of different IPs, but I'm reminding you of them because they just released their 4th wave of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ones with Merrick and the Egyptian Gods. In my opinion, this is the best they've ever looked, so check them out at my affiliate link below. Dyer's got the obvious one. Easy, remove any identity the game has and become Fortnite. I would say that probably 80% of the responses to this thread are universes beyond. You know, it's so frustrating thinking about it now because I think if you had asked someone in 2008 should Magic the Gathering collaborate with Lord of the Rings, it's something they would have wished for in their wildest dreams. But after 15 million universes beyond sets, we see the outcome. Set after set of slop designed for the Funko Pop audience, which, regrettably, still has a lot of money. I can only hope Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't go down this route. I think the crossover cards that currently exist are a tactful way of doing it, and I hope that the presidential candidate in 2028 will run on a platform of wealth redistribution from nostalgic 90s millennials. They've clearly got too much income. CJ Alex has a dogshit one as always. I call it Inverse Genesis. You know how Genesis has no link and no pendulums? Well, Inverse Genesis bans fusions, synchros, and xyz. Only rituals, links, and pendulums are allowed. Also, every pointed card is inverted, meaning every 99 is a 1 and every 1 is a 99. I think that's unplayable. I think that it's literally unplayable. But absent the point rule, it's a great format for Abyss Actor. RJ's actually got a really good one. Monetize backseat dueling. A couple of cents for every impression your unsolicited comment at locals makes. And they're going to be really harsh on it too. It's not just if you say, oh, you should have done this play. It's everything. You wrap up the duel and someone goes, hey, did your boyfriend bring you? You are going to have to pay through the nose. Ooh, Crook's got a good one. I think they should add the sample text watermark to printed cards in real life so that the Twitter proxies become more accurate. I will say it's extremely funny that Peeps Yu-Gi-Oh's lasting impression upon the card game is going to be getting them to move the sample down to the bottom left corner. I mean, brace yourselves, folks. You may have to live in this world sooner than you think. Some of us are already doing the work to prevent the future from coming to pass. Doug says delete all secret packs so you have to pull everything from masters. Great idea. Honestly, really, really good idea. Imagine the Asian English packs that have like 10,000 cards in them. We gotta make that the premier way to get cardboard. Vedganator has a great one. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has become so woke that we cancel this brand ambassador for being really racist. I say bring him back. It's so funny thinking about Antoine Griezmann in a world past the Shadow Duelist series, where they found people who were like actually passionate about Yu-Gi-Oh! And they went so hard in on this guy who was like, yeah, I've heard of the fucking Blue Eyes White Dragon. You ask me, the Blue Eyes White Dragon's the only type of dragon we should have around these parts. Spence has a good one. Monthly ban lists. You're gonna have to re-sleeve your decks every 4 weeks. You're gonna have to hope your TCG player orders ship in time for the locals before it's banned. You're describing Genesis. Ooh, the opposite of waifu mats are banned. Waifu mats are now mandatory. Doesn't have to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, but if your mat, sleeves, and field center don't have a scantily clad anime babe on it, you will be disqualified. Return to 2008, where this was a rule. Photo found by searching DMG playmat on Google and cropped for convenience. Oh, if I scroll down, am I going to find something else? Konami should bring back Time Wizard with an entire YCS dedicated to it and it alone, and I can think of no better time to represent than 2018. This could only go well, I think. I thought, during the height of Time Wizard's popularity, that they would explore in the same way that they are exploring a full Genesis YCS, a full Edison YCS. And I think that would have done really well if attendance numbers for the R-bets or anything to go off of. But it's really funny to think they'll walk it back and do a Time Wizard YCS, except it's going to be the worst time period to be playing ever. Annie has a nice one. Change the Time Wizard rules again to something weirder. I just think enough people would bandwagon it for no reason in a way that would piss everyone off. So time travel is already this. The fact that they changed it from an established period in time to a format that was playable on Master Duel for a weekend, but I think we can do better. What if in order to accurately encapsulate the feeling of playing in an ancient era, you as an individual have to track your age backwards and play as though you were that age? Like, good luck affording the dad in your deck on an 11-year-old's salary. Signing up for these events is going to require you to have an Excel spreadsheet with your allowance notated so that you can prove that you can afford that Blackwing core. And if you were young enough, you'll have to play your game while navigating the intricacies of trying to get pussy while playing Yu-Gi-Oh! The trading card game. We'll call it the Age Regression Series.
I wanna age play with you.
What if when you started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, instead of people like telling you what decks are cool or what you should try out, you get directed to exactly this thread where everyone's telling this person to kill himself for being upset they had to play against what appears to be Fiendsmith Abyss Actor K9. It is funny to be like, yeah, you should be upset about having to play against this. Not because the turn is taking forever, but because this is not a real deck. Oh, hell yeah, this is a great one. What if we brought back the way that cards used to be worded? When this card is sent directly from your deck to the graveyard by the effect of a card controlled by your opponent, unite your graveyard cards and your own deck, shuffle them up, and form a new deck. I mean, the greatest of all time, of course, is Mask of Restrict, no matter what the situation. Well, this one actually did happen, but yes, good prize card exclusives. Imagine a card being insane for your deck, but you got to spend a ludicrous amount of cash for it. I've told this story 1,000 times, and I will tell it again here right now. But I was playing a regional in like 2016 when Minerva Sworn was a thing you could theoretically play. This big, sexy zombie pile that was trying to mill its entire strategy and like unizombie it up. And one of the fours it would make was Minerva, which was perfect for the strategy. I watched someone a couple tables down from me play a Minerva in a slab. Their opponent called a judge, and the judge was like, I'm sorry, you do have to unslab the Minerva. And they were like, come on, man, please don't make me do this. They were like, I know the card is like $4,000. Sorry. And they had to crack it right there with like a pair of pliers. It was really painful. Konami sponsors a special military operation to topple the Robert regime and install a brand-friendly streamer like Farfa or Peeps Yu-Gi-Oh! In charge of Master Duel meme review. We are executing a special intelligence mission on the Decade compound. It would kind of be exactly like the Maduro extraction, right? If they took Robbie out and replaced him with Farfa or Peeps. Don't worry, we've got someone much more stable heading the meme review. And it's just Peeps telling all the posters to kill themselves. Add skill cards to the standard format a la Speed Duel, however, make them all high rarity cards you actually have to pull from packs. I am going to go a step further. What if this skill deck existed as a supplementary extra deck from which you could activate skills like Destiny Draw provided you had them? You show up with like every skill card ever printed, then your opponent like takes one action and you go, you've triggered 8 of my skills. By drawing a card, you've triggered the effect of my Destiny Draw, and you've triggered the effect of my Precious Queen, and by summoning a monster, you've triggered the effect of my Twisted Personality, and by attacking my life points directly, you've triggered the effect of my big boner, my big boner skill card. My big boner skill card allows me to play a round of Ookie Cookie with your Grandmaster Rare. For Worlds, you can only play with the cards you spend time grinding in a video game, like when they did it on the Game Boy Advance. Oh, also, it's only the Switch version of Rush Duel. You must bring your own copy. Well, you can get your own copy by winning a YCS, but Rush Duel Dawn of the Battle Royale at Worlds would be the funniest fucking thing ever. Like, for sure they should do it just because it would be a great bit. Take a page from Street Fighter. Game is thriving with a growing audience and a genre whose audience wanes over time. With a relatively huge esports audience with great storylines, rivalries, and hype matches, let's make our biggest esports event of the year pay-per-view. Oh my god, did they really do that? For sure they should do this, but the difference is, I mean, there's just no storylines, no rivalries, no hype matches at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event. There could be, and God willing, there will be in our lifetime. This is good. All Yu-Gi-Oh! Events will now be using AI commentary from now on. Oh, y'all were so pissed about the Australian Open where they had one guy doing commentary. Well, what if they had a million guys doing bad commentary?
Direct attack with Bysteel Magnum Hunt. Direct attack with access code Talker. This is the access code to victory.
For as long as I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, Konami's been untouchable when it comes to ruining their own product. But now, when it seems they're finally starting to realize what they've got, it's time for us to lend them a hand in tearing it down. Fuck off, Dyer. Dyer on this website is so much more antagonistic.